last speaker is Larry Kerschner. He's a member of the Veterans of Peace chapter. He served in the infantry with the U.S. 4th U.S. Army Division in Vietnam Central Highlands from November 1967 until January 1969. He worked 35 years as a registered nurse before retiring in 2008. He returned to Vietnam in 2012 with True Soldier's Heart. He published 2 books of poetry, Grave Lines and Blind Blood. He also mentioned that he's a founding member of VFP Chapter 109, along with Dennis Mills, our videographer here, and we also have our president, Zoya Chowdhury. I asked Larry to write, speak some of his poetry, so Larry.
Okay. All wars generate some form of poetry. Historically, that's happened. Generally, it's a type of poetry that's called poetry of witness. And 2 functions of poetry of witness is, one is to see that the monstrous and the atrocious are not accepted as normal. And the other thing is to keep people from forgetting. The language of poetry of witness generally tends to not be what Horace, he's a Roman poet, called sweet and useful. It tends to be in your face and visceral type of poetry. And since we're running out of time, I'll just read a few of the poems that I brought today. This one is called Answering a Question. The first man I killed was small and hidden in the tall grass. Being a killer forever changes you. Even if you learn to be kind and considerate and civilized, that part of you is always there, hiding down inside, awaiting a chance. A normal person does not want to kill and will avoid it at all cost. The military will not allow you to remain normal. Doesn't matter if you think that you're smart enough not to get caught up in their lies. They will change you. Don't be sucked into the biggest myth and lie that killing and dying for your country is somehow heroic. Really be all that you can be. Let's skip a couple since we are running out of time. The war was black and white, but then in living color, red and yellow and khaki green, brought into the living room, but what was missing was the smell of war. My war smelled of dying vegetation, ode to Agent Orange, burnt gunpowder and burnt people, dark blood, sweet and warm, piss, shit, sweat, testosterone. The same smell is found in what is left of a pizza shop in Jerusalem. Now the smell of war is in Jenin and Ramallah. Piss and shit and blood mixes with the frustrated cries of the people. Helen Caldecott holds up a picture of a baby with his head blown off. The smell of his head seeps up through the concrete rubble after the tanks roll on. The same smell of piss and shit and blood rose in the hot desert some days after Iraqi soldiers were buried alive. The same smell at Waco when the embers died and the smoke cleared. The same smell of more piss and shit and blood was found by firefighters and police digging below the Twin Towers space. The same smell, more piss, more shit, more blood, was found near Kabul, raised by the dust from bombs from 40,000 feet. Next, we will find the same smell in some new axis of evil, where the smell of oil added to the smell of dead children, added to the putrescent odor of piss and shit and blood, of war and death, should gag us all. However, as Erasmus said 500 years ago, war is sweet to those who know it not. And okay, actually, that's the last of mine. This is a poem that was written by a woman named Peggy Tuxon Akers. She was a nurse in Vietnam. She joined the military in 1963, I think, like a lot of people today, to get an education. And after she came back from Vietnam, she eventually got working with the GI resistance movement in San Francisco. And on Memorial Day, she wrote this poem. It's called Poem for Memorial Day. Dear America, remember me? I was the girl next door. Remember when I was 13, America, and rode on top of the fire engine in the Memorial Day parade? I'd won an essay on what it meant to be a proud American. And it was always me, America, the cheerleader, the Girl Scout, who marched in front of the high school band, carrying our flag, the tallest, the proudest. And remember, America, you gave me the Daughters of the American Revolution Good Citizen Award for patriotism, and I was only 16. And then you sent me to war, America, along with thousands of other men and women who loved you. It's Memorial Day, America. Do you hear the flags flapping in the wind? There's a big sale at Macy's, and there's a big parade in Washington for the veterans. But it's not the American flag or the sound of drums that I hear. I hear a helicopter coming in. I smell the burning of human flesh. It's Thomas, America, the young black kid from Atlanta, my patient, burned by an exploding gas tank. I remember how his courage kept him alive that day, America, and I clung to his only finger and whispered over and over again how proud you were of him, America. And he died. And Pham, he was only 8, America, and you sprayed him with napalm, and his skin fell off in my hands, and he screamed as I tried to comfort him. And America, what did you do with Robbie, the young kid I sat next to on the plane to Vietnam? His friends told me a piece of shrapnel ripped through his young heart. He was only 17. It was the first time he had ever been away from America, from home. What did you tell his mother and father, America? Hold us, America. Hold all of your children, America. Alan will never hold anyone again. He left both his arms and legs back there. He left them for you, America. America, you never told me that I would have to put so many of your sons, the boys next door, into body bags. You never told me.